What's happening, Shredder Nation? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another edition of Shred Your Body. I'm your host, Jesse James Jamnik, and I am excited to be back with you live this week. Very, very special shout out to my good friend, Mr. Rod Brooks, for stepping in for me last week and covering what an amazing interview with Rod and one of our Shred Warrior princesses, Mel, Mimi the Clown. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of that, learned a little bit from that. You know, the whole purpose of this call of Shred Your Body, when we started, we launched the ER Shred way back in October. And since then, we have literally had thousands of people from around the world drastically transform their health, not just their physical health, but their cellular health from the inside out, the kind of health that we really want to get to if you want to make lasting change. And I can tell you that with the utmost certainty from doing this for the last 20 years, that is what we need to affect. Cellular change. So my goal every single week, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, I want to bring you another epic story of somebody, or in this case, this week, a couple, part of our Shredder community. These are real people. These are real testimonials. These are people just like you and I that have been somewhere, someplace. Maybe they struggled. Maybe they were looking for something. Who knows what that goal may have been. But that's what we want to share. Is we want to share these stories of these amazing people as part of our community. And this week, I had the privilege of interviewing two absolute rock stars who have literally crushed the ER Shred. And I love this story so much because it kind of takes a flip-flop. It's a little bit of a turn. So I'm going to bring my guest in now, and please help me welcome Steven and his amazing, beautiful wife, Rocio Rabil. Steven, I think you're beautiful too, so I don't want to leave you out. We'll say that you're beautiful too. That hair of yours is just like mine. It's absolutely amazing and stunning. So much love for you, brother. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and welcome to Shred Your Body.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure, Jesse, to be on here and just really share our story with everybody else on the community. So we've really got a lot of support from everybody too. That's the great thing about this community. I really love about it.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about that for sure, because we want to talk about the community, and we want to talk about how that's helped you guys from the past and all that kind of good stuff. But, you know, people are coming in. As you guys come in, drop into the comments, say hello. If you know somebody that can maybe benefit from this, sharing is caring. Tag them in the comments below, because the more people that we can reach, the more people that we can create to be healthy versions of themselves. I truly believe that the healthier we are as a whole, the happier we are, and better things just go. And I know part of your guys' story, which I'm really excited to kind of dig into, really kind of touches on that. And it really is kind of mind-blowing to know just how powerful food is. But let's get started with this. I guess let's go ladies first, of course. Where'd you guys grow up? I'm just going to ask you the same question, and then we can kind of go back and forth and kind of dig into the meat and potatoes, if you don't mind. But tell us just a little bit about where you guys grew up. You know, what was life growing up like? Were you into sports, and just kind of like a brief little thing for anybody that doesn't know you just quite yet.
Sure. So I am originally from Bolivia. I moved here I moved to Maryland when I was 15. So I live most of my life now here in the U.S. We are now in Virginia. But so typical Latina, you know, kid growing up, high school in America. I definitely have always loved food. It's part of our culture. Food is very important. So for the longest time, you know, I have memories of being together with family, eating great meals. I mean, the city that I was born in is actually like notorious for great food, tons of food, lots of food. So food is my thing.
Food.
Right?
I see food was my thing. Coming with this. Food. Okay. Yeah. So childhood was I find this interesting because this actually happens to, whether it's, you know, you say Latino, and I know the Latino community is very big on family. Family is everything, right? Yeah. Hold on one second. It's possible for streamer to be deleted on Facebook. We will try. Well, that's really weird. I don't know. If you guys are on Facebook, let me know if you can still see this. I just got some weird message. So just type into the comments, but we're going to keep going and we can repost this after. But so Latino community, it's very big on culture, on family. Food is a big piece of that, right? Like do you see it on Facebook? Is it still going?
We're going. Yeah. We're going.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So that's a good thing to know to start with, of kind of how, what we know as adults is really what we learned as children, right? And we kind of take that with us. So that's really interesting that I want to circle back to that. So what about you, Stephen?
Yeah, so I grew up with 4 siblings, so a much bigger family. I'm like probably 4th generation American Lebanese.
Okay.
So food is a big part of our culture as well.
Yeah.
I remember having different types of Lebanese dishes with my grandparents, especially at my father's house when we would go visit. Family is definitely a big aspect as well for us, as just being part of a larger Catholic family too. That's another thing that's another reason why my parents had my kids.
Yeah.
So I'm originally from Maryland as well. I grew up in Montgomery County, Maryland, and then I moved down here actually with Rocio, and then we had our kids. I actually started, I finished really almost a physical therapy program.
Okay.
So a little bit of medical knowledge. And then my background is in mostly like door-to-door sales. I think even you and I might have done something similar in this door-to-door.
Probably.
Like selling.
Did you sell coupons door-to-door?
Yeah.
Yes, dude. Yes. Listen, that's why I have the rhinoceros skin that I have today.
Yeah.
Because I got told no so many damn times and the door slammed in my face, and maybe the cops called on me a couple times here or there. I don't know. Yeah. Did you ever run out of a college dorm room because they were calling on you?
I had we did get like stopped for a second. The police were just like, "What are you guys doing?" And
yeah,
that kind of thing. So it wasn't major, but it was just like basically they were like, "You gotta get out of here."
That's awesome. I used to pitch the cops. I'm like, "Dude, you eat pizza. I know you do. I know you do." And I was like, "The worst thing he's gonna do is tell me no." You know what I mean? And that's just another no that I can add to my 100, so I can find my 10 yeses. Right? Good old law of averages.
Exactly.
That's so awesome. We have to connect and talk about that more.
Yeah.
So you guys both grew up with family culture. It was very food involved, kind of like it is still today, right? Like every major holiday has to involve food. Every celebration has to be food. It's a birthday, we got to go out to dinner. Like, is that kind of like the gist of everything was kind of centered around that? Is that kind of the vision of what you guys remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely very family oriented. Like you said, around the holidays, around birthdays, those kinds of things. You're either making something and hanging out as a group, or then going, to a restaurant as a group. Yep.
Yeah. And I know there's so many people that can relate, and anybody who's watching or comes in on a replay, drop into the comments. The best thing is to communicate and let us know, but I know that resonates with so many people. I've coached for many, many years, and when I really dig down deep, guys, it's kind of the same story, but just a little bit of a different twist, because this is your family versus somebody else's family, but it's kind of the same theme, you know what I mean, that I hear all the time. So what was health like for you guys growing up? Did you guys struggle with your health at all? For me, I was a little fat kid growing up, but what was it like for you guys?
I was pretty average, to be quite honest, until I came to the US. Let's be honest. I was average kid. I was chubby when I was a baby, but then I hit 15, came to the US. And I tell you, in high school, my high school friends still remember, there was a point where I was very self-conscious about my weight, to the point where, according to my friends, I don't remember this, but according to my friends, like, I was counting calories. I knew how many calories were in a grape, so I would count how many grapes I would be eating, and so on and so forth. So I remember, I think my senior year, I was very skinny, but that didn't last long.
Okay.
But yes.
That was your senior year in high school?
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about that, if you don't mind. So do you think that, food has this ability to create and make weird things happen? I mean, I've done it myself. I mean, trust me, I was there counting my 4 pieces of asparagus and making sure that everything was there, especially in the bodybuilding days when I kind of learned false information. You know, do you think that, I mean, did this play any mental role with you? I mean, being self-conscious, not having that confidence every day, did that affect you daily? Do you remember if that had any impact on you with your self-confidence and what that did for your self-esteem and kind of how you presented yourself or who you talked to friends-wise or anything?
Well, so a little bit for sure, I think. To paint a picture about who I was in high school, though, I came to the US without any knowledge of the language. So I kind of was plunged into high school, and so I'm a warrior. I instead of like retreating, I was like, I gotta learn the language. I gotta do this because kids would tease me. So I learned the language pretty quickly. And I think this culture shock and everything really made me kind of the mentality, gave me the mentality to push forward no matter what. But yeah, challenges like, you know, gaining weight and looking at media and saying, oh, well, I don't look like the girls on the magazines, you know, those kinds of things. As a young girl, and comparing myself like blonde, blue eyes. Nope, that wasn't me. So just the desire to fit in. Right.
Yeah.
And so, I think that was huge. I wanted to fit in. I was blessed to have, honestly, girls of like mind in the sense that South Americans, you know, they also migrated and they, you know, started high school at the same time. So they're like still my like best friends. I still keep in touch with them. And I think we formed a group, like a support group in a way, like where we accepted each other and loved each other no matter what. So that kind of, in a way, guarded me from going beyond and like into the dark places of, you know, self-image and all that kind of stuff. So like my friendships were like a huge means of grace in a way to keep me from going into like really depression as you know, as I think I probably could have been going when I was in high school. Because
no, absolutely. It's great that you kind of acknowledge that, to be honest with you, because I actually agree from a coaching perspective. I think you're very blessed to have that because, I mean, people have gone into deep holes, you know, when it comes to self-image and everything, especially with how society is, and high school is so rough and kids are so mean. And, you know, if you don't fit in and something's wrong. And I mean, my whole first half of life was trying to fit in until I realized that it's not fitting in that I need to be. I need to fit out. Like I need to fit out and I need to be me. And I had to learn how to emotionally disconnect myself from what somebody else thought of me, because I was literally living a lie and I was every day, you know, doing that. So that's a great point. And I know that there's many, many people that fall into that trap and it comes with them later on in life, 30s, 40s, 50s. And I mean, some are even older that I've had to work with. So that's a great point. Thank you for sharing that. So what about you, Steve? How was childhood? What was nutrition like? What was it like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I actually, I grew up like kind of the first, I guess, almost the first half of my life. My parents did this diet.
Yeah.
But in a sense that it was just a way of eating, obviously, of macrobiotic diet. So it was very soy-based. We actually ate something called tempeh, which is horrific if you've ever tried it.
I have definitely tried it.
You have?
Acquired taste.
I actually, it's terrible because
it's not a ribeye. It's not a ribeye with butter. Let's just put it that way.
My friend, I remember a friend of mine in college was saying he's going home to have a London broil, and they had made a knockoff of London broil called lemon broil, which was tempeh basically like sauteed with a lemon, and it just you can imagine like the connection I made was like, don't want to eat that, that's disgusting. Yeah. But that was essentially like the diet for probably, and actually the interesting thing was though, I never got sick. I never missed a day of school because I had a really healthy immune system as a result of eating that way. And we didn't eat a lot of processed stuff. My mom actually managed to see that we like there was a lot of preservatives and a lot of like processed junk in there. So that probably honestly saved me as painful it was as a child going through that kind of eating. And then we switched over to kind of eating more meat. And my dad is still kind of eats on the like chicken and fish. Like he certain things he's allergic to, so he can't actually eat certain kinds of meat. It bothers him. But anyhow, so we eventually were able to like eat like normal people, I guess, if you will, if you call it that. And, but I was very athletic. I mean, I was into athletics a lot. So I was very fit and thin and going from like 8th grade or even earlier than that, probably like 6th grade on up through high school. And then I got to college and I put on the freshman like 15 or 20 or whatever it is. And I wasn't like fat per se, but you definitely could notice the composition change. And I always thought that I needed to gain weight because I was like, I'm so skinny. And like everybody would say, you're so skinny or whatever, right? So I actually had like the opposite thing going on. And then and I actually put on weight. And then all of a sudden it wasn't so good anymore because you realize like, and then so I always was comparing myself to people. And I think just guys and the kind of guys I was around were kind of like always comparing themselves. And so we're like, dude, we got to get shape and like look like this and blah, 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 blah. So I was actually kind of in a countercultural like fit of like, you've got to look like this. You've got to look fit. You've got to look thin and healthy and sexy and whatever. And so that's just kind of like the culture I kind of grew up with after like in college and then on. Yeah.
Steve, I'm going to ask you to go a little deep for a second. So as males, we hide this stuff. We don't talk about this stuff. And this ruined me for a long time. It ruined me, like absolutely destroyed my brain, it destroyed everything for me. And, what do you think that did for you living, I think we go through daily life and we kind of don't realize that it's happening. But now that you're Steve and you got 2 boys of your own and you're a dad and you have that, right? What do you want to take from that? And what do you hope to be able to pass on to your boys to let them know necessarily like that definition of a man, right? Like I think now that a man, it's okay to cry and it's okay to express emotion. And believe it or not, we're stronger. We're stronger as men if we do that. But boy, is that hard to do, right? Like that is really hard because the names that we were called as men, right? Oh, I'm not going to use it because your wife's on the line, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like it was not good. It was not good. So what do you think that did to you, and what message do you hope to kind of bring now to your boys about growing up and kind of learning what you learned from that?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, fortunately, actually, that my mom did kind of let me know that it was okay to cry, that it was okay to be emotional, to be frustrated. But still, yeah, like you still don't want to do that, especially in high school. Like that's the last thing you want to do is cry in front of a bunch of guys that are your friends that, especially in sports, like, everyone's going to be like, you're such a sissy or whatever, and all the other terms that they use to, that I'm talking about. So, it destroys your self-confidence and just in your ability to like separate yourself as an individual. Like you were saying, like emotionally separate yourself and say like, I just got to be me. I don't have to be like someone to pretend to be like someone in order to get the approval of others. I just got to be me and figure out how that fits and be okay when people are just like, don't agree with that because they probably have a lot of times some of their own self-esteem issues. So,
bro, you just nailed it. Like majority of times when people come at you and people are negative to you, it's actually not you. It's an internal problem that they're dealing with, that they're not happy with. Most negative people are negative with their own life. And to see you be happy or to see you thrive or to see you succeed in any way, it's like the more success you have in life, the more cockroaches come out of the wall. Like it's crazy. Like you have success and cockroaches come out of everywhere. It's like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, okay, Mr. Troll, go back in your hole. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, it's crazy. So thank you for sharing that. And I mean, I would imagine that now, for you and your children, you're going to be able to show that as a role model and show that it's okay and have those conversations and be able to do that. Right. I would assume.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
100%. Yep.
So you guys seem, you guys seem pretty fortunate with having good role models, whether it be friends or family. Macrobiotics, I studied that in nutrition school. It's amazing. Your parents are very smart for doing that. I think that like anything, there's things here and there. That's what I love about what we do today is it's not just a one-shot bang. It's pulling pieces from everything. And there are some macrobiotic touches in this because we got to deal with the immune system and we got to deal with the gut, and 80% of our health is located there. And if we can fix this down here, we can pretty much, thrive. You know what I mean? And I know, Rocio, we're going to get into that with you because that's some of your stuff. So let's fast forward a little bit now, guys. And first off, how did you guys meet originally? You guys have been married now. So you guys have been married for 11 years, right? 11 years married. Congratulations. And you have 2 amazing children, 6 and 4, I believe, right? Is what they are, and 2 boys. So you got your hands full with that, right? You're surrounded, Rocio. You got a lot of testosterone flying around your house.
Sometimes. And then my dad sometimes comes and watches the boys. So I'm like, even more so. Yeah, I need like a dog, a female dog.
That's so funny. So for you guys, that's a great part. And then, so you guys met how? Sorry, I didn't get that question.
I can answer. We met at church.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
That was like the beginning of a relationship of like getting to know one another. And for a long time, she didn't think that I was the right fit for her. Like she thought I was, I don't even know, honestly. She just wasn't attracted to me in the way that she thought she would be. And it took actually a friend of ours to convince her that I needed to have a chance.
That's right. I had to give him a chance.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a pretty cool story. So that's how it started. And now you guys have been married for 11 years and have 2 awesome kids. Like, and here you are sharing stories together, doing health together, creating life together. That's pretty awesome. That's a complete circle. That's a complete circle. That's pretty cool. And then, so you guys get married and then you have your children. When did you guys notice, let's kind of get into a little bit of health stuff now and shift there. When did, what started happening with health? When did we start having issues per se? If there was issues, if you had, what kind of happened with all of that?
Definitely. So honestly, maybe since college, I can't even pinpoint it, but for a while now, definitely before we got married, I had stomach issues. I didn't even know that they were issues until the same friend that told me to give him a chance made a comment about me constantly getting food poisoning. Because I kept saying, like, I got food poisoning. Like my stomach, I would get these awful migraines. My stomach would be so upset. I would throw up. And so, and I just said, I must have eaten something. So I got food poisoning. And it wasn't until this friend of ours was like, you get food poisoning a lot. And that's when the light went on for me. I'm like, maybe it isn't food poisoning. Maybe it's something else. And I'm just not even noticing, I'm just blaming it on like, I must have eaten something and I'm fine. Everything's fine. But to be quite honest, I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know what was making me sick. I didn't know, even how to go about it. I went to some doctors and at some point they said I had gastritis and then I was fine and all these kinds of things. So, but, really, like even before we got married and into our marriage, I just didn't feel right all the time. There'll be days when I would feel fine. And then there'll be days when I just wasn't right.
And did you find, was weight an issue? Were you gaining weight? Was it hard to lose weight? Like what was it like then?
Before the kids, everything was fine. And then the kids came. Like it's funny because after our first, I was in pretty healthy, healthy weight before I got pregnant with our first one. And then I pretty much shed the weight after the first one. And then I got pregnant again a year later. And I had, little guy, JJ, and then I couldn't lose the weight. Like the weight stayed.
Yeah.
And so I was pretty frustrated. And of course I had my hands full with the kids. So I think for me, that was the time when like just emotionally, I started declining, like mentally and emotionally, my self, my picture of myself, and being busy with 2 kids, and Steven at some point going to school, and also having challenges with work. It's just, I went into the survival mode almost. Must survive, do whatever is necessary in order to survive. The kids took the first place because they were so needy.
Yep.
And then, my relationship with Steve really we put it in the back burner in order to survive and work and do things for the kids. And I fell behind, my caring for myself was last. So
when you say care for yourself, are you talking the foods that you were eating, no exercise? Is that what you mean when you say something?
All, yeah. It's kind of funny now to think about it, but even so, when we first got married, I would go get my nails done, and all kinds of things. So we had to make a lot of sacrifices because of school, because of different things. And so certain things I started just kind of okay, I'm going to sacrifice that. That's fine. And then the kids came, and then, certainly not going to get my nails done. So I don't even have time to go out and hang out with my girlfriends. And of course, moving also, created a challenge because we got unplugged from our community to start a new one. And so those were all kinds of challenges. But definitely no working out. Oh yeah, before we got married, I was working out regularly. Working out went out the window. Eating, I don't think my eating had. Oh no, although you think about it, when the boys start eating food, we just start making unhealthier choices, right? We were doing more eating out because there was no time to cook, so we would buy, fast food and those kinds of things. So both eating and exercising.
You see, Heather put up a comment. She's obviously a boy mom too. She says, moms do that so often. Everyone comes before us.
Yes. And
it's so true. And I don't even know if it's necessarily just classifying moms per se, but I think it affected, and Steve, we'll get your side. I see you shaking your head and nodding and agreeing with all of this stuff. I think it kind of puts a damper on everybody, right? It's kind of flip-flopping back and forth. But before I go to you, Steve, I want to ask you one question, Rocio. Yeah. Now that you know what you know today, you look back at that and go, man, it could have been easier. It's because I think that, being a dad myself, and I'm in a different situation because my daughter lives in a different state, and it's a tougher situation. Obviously, I'm having another one now. But I know for me now at this point, I work out so I can have the energy to do everything. I eat healthy so I can be there. And I think so many times, so many people put themselves on the back burner because they say, oh, I have to be there for my kids. And I'm always like, well, if you're not at 100%, how are you giving 100%? Yep. And I think we kind of get in this stereotypical way where it's oh, if I don't do that, I'm not a good mom. Do you think that way now, or do you kind of think differently now than you did then?
100% differently, for sure. Because you're right. I think that was it. That for me, it was just, I'm giving and giving and giving. And without realizing, I'm also taking, robbing, that, what I could be, the energy that I could have. So, on social media, I would always read different women, different moms, saying you cannot really serve someone if you're empty, or pour into someone's life if you're dry and empty yourself. So I would hear those things and they would ring so true. And then I was, and it just was oh, I need to do something. But I didn't know what it was that I needed to do and how to do it. Right. So if I had this knowledge, if I had this products, if I had this way, it's just, you're right. When I feel healthier, I'm happier, and I'm able to spend more time with the kids. I'm able to be more energetic. I have more energy to be able to handle the kids.
Yeah.
So it's just a complete mind shift.
Yeah. It's crazy that it takes that moment though, right? That aha moment. This could be the aha moment that I always talk about, right? It could be something like this, where you come to this realization, and you're like, whoa, like it could be so different. And what if I'm so energized that I can even get up earlier and work out before the kids get up now? And then I can have that energy for when they come back home, and I can do all this and I can do that if you take from you. Heather was saying the same thing. She said, you can't pour from an empty cup, was her comment, right?
Yes.
And somebody else was like, and we don't even always realize what we're doing. And we don't, because we're living life. We're just trying to survive every day, right? Yeah. So what about, and were you trying different diets? Were you trying different eating things when you were struggling to lose that weight? Were you trying it all, or?
I hate diets. So I know, right? I was not trying different diets. I did though. There was a point where I was like, okay, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
I had tried to exercise, but I was not motivated. So I did. My company offered discount on Weight Watchers, and so I was like, okay, let's do it. But like in a month, I lost 5 pounds, like, and feeling completely deprived. And at the end of the month, I was like, this is why I hate diets. And I literally, I feel like I gained the 5 pounds back within a week easily, because I was not eating right. I was depriving myself throughout the whole thing for just 5 pounds. So I was like, no, diets are not for me. I don't like them.
And that's what happens, right? We get caught in that, and then from that point on, you need to do something, but you're like, oh, I'm not going back there. And then we make the excuse, and then before you know it, a year goes by, and 2 years goes by, and 3 years goes by, and then you're like, crap, right? All right, Steve. So what about you, buddy? What did you notice about your health? When did you, was it a struggle with weight at all? Kind of share your story, I guess, coming through college now and now kind of how that all worked for you.
Yeah, I think, definitely. So I unfortunately, I didn't actually complete my physical therapy degree. I actually failed the last clinical. And I can't get my degree. I don't have a physical therapy degree. I wasn't able to work in the field because I needed a license, as most medical professionals will tell you. And that was actually a big damper on me, because that changed the dynamics of.
Damper is a light word.
It just,
you can't lie, your wife's here.
It was a low blow for both of us, and it was just huge, investing 3 years into a school and then having nothing to show for it, and going into debt, school debt, and the whole thing. It was a rough time.
Yeah, and I think the reason I shared that is because I think that was the catalyst for me. That was really because then she was having to actually pick up the slack, and she still kind of is right now. And she's having to pour more into that. And then I'm having to try and figure out how to manage the kids at home. And it just kind of what we expected to happen obviously didn't. And so now we're like changing the dynamics of how we're taking care of our children and what's going on, and just the stress and the financial debt that we're in now that we had to like figure out a different way to pay off. And so I think like just over time, like I knew that I needed to get back into shape, because I'm like, I'm just not feeling the energy that I need for my children. Like I'm not present. I'm always thinking about something else. Always not paying attention to my kids whatsoever. Like I couldn't physically have the presence of mind with my kids and my wife when I they needed me to, because I was just wrapped up in like just the stress of like everything that happened.
Yeah. Do you think, Steve, from as a man, did that kind of like kick you between the legs? Did that affect your ego?
100%. I'm
100%, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know it did, bro. And I appreciate you for being honest, but I can only imagine, because again, from growing up, we get taught or we get shown or we learn through media, the man has to be, and man, is that such a bunch of bullshit? Like today, like I am so proud of all the strong, powerful, confident women, especially in the environment that we're in, with the industry that we're in. I mean, it is just absolutely amazing to watch. I mean, my future wifey is the same. Like, she's just like, boom, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, hell yeah. Like, it's a pain in the ass, but at the same time, we like both alpha dominant personalities.
Yeah.
So we clash sometimes. But for me, it's just like, it's amazing. It's sexy. But I know from a male perspective, that had to been a huge hit. And that makes sense, because it's affecting the time with the kids, and it's affecting, because you don't even feel good, right? Did you not even feel, see, this is a bad definition, but I don't think you even felt like a man, right? Like it kind of like it takes that man card away, and I don't even think those exist. But in the presence of what we're talking about, it kind of sounds like it stripped that away from you, and that can lead down a really dangerous, dark rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Rocio's shaking her head. Is that kind of like what happened at that point in time for you guys?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It was hard on both of us. He had those struggles though, very clearly, because it was, like a failure in a way, right? You try, you do this, he almost did it, and then just to wash it away. On my side, I'm like, I just sacrificed 3 years, working full time and all this kind of stuff, and now we're back to square one. So it was, it was a rough time for both of us.
Yeah. Did you feel resentment at that point in time too, Rocio? Did you struggle with some of that?
Oh, for sure. I think we both did.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're still kind of hashing through some of that, to be quite honest, because it wasn't until too long ago that, now I'm able to talk about it without crying. Let's all. Yeah. It's like without crying. And before, it was still raw. It was still hard.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. And you go back and see these comments. I mean, your boy Rick is like, you guys are awesome. Thanks for keeping it real. Natasha, you guys are so authentic and vulnerable. Love and appreciate you so much. Amen to women everywhere stepping into their power. Thank you guys for being so raw and honest. So just know, I appreciate you for showing up, because I know it's hard to talk about. And I just want to acknowledge you guys for doing that. And I think that brings you more power. I think that when you take these steps and you keep making these forward progressions and you speak it out and you clear it, you just got to clear that nonsense out, because a lot of it's probably stuff you're holding on to that probably doesn't need to be, right? It's all this like thought process and assumptions, and it sounds like you guys are able to kind of work through that now, and as we step into this next chapter, to where we start getting healthier and such, I know one of the things you guys shared is this has allowed your relationship to be better. This has given you more energy for your boys. This has allowed you guys to kind of, come together closer. And man, that touches my heart so much, because I think health is our greatest wealth. And that doesn't just mean physical. I think everybody, because of media and because of magazine, we always think physical, right? Lean muscle, ripped abs, six pack this, and that's all freaking hocus pocus smoke, right? But if you just feel awesome every day, you can show up for yourself, and you can show up for each other, which means you can show up for your boys, and you can show up for whatever else comes your way, right? You can kind of have that. So that's awesome. I mean, you guys should applaud yourself for that. Seriously, when we're done, you can kind of, there you go, give yourself each a high five. Hell yeah, right? You gotta do that, right? Yeah. I have no problem. I'll help you do that for sure, because I want you guys to really embrace that. It's really a big piece of the puzzle that I don't just want to state it and let it go, which is why I'm kind of keep circling with it. I want it to really sink in that I'm really freaking proud of you guys for doing that. And I hope you are proud of yourself too, because that's a huge step in moving forward. And I think we're all a work in progress. There is no perfection. Perfection does not exist in the ER Shred community. I'll tell you that much right now. We are all perfectly imperfect. And I love this perfectly imperfect group, right? And that's what I think makes it so special. So how did what happened? Take me back to, how did we start to be like, okay, enough is enough. It's time to get healthy. I think, Steven, you were the first one to kind of jump into that, right? Can you kind of take us back? And I know Rick and Natasha were the ones that blessed you guys with this. Yeah. So kind of take us back and share that story about how this kind of came to the beginning.
Yeah, so I think I was trying to go to the gym more often, just get a workout in, trying to really I needed more energy. I needed something to do something. I was just like, I can't can't keep functioning like this and trying to get through my day without like getting a workout in. I knew I needed that energy. But then of course, right, like I'm still eating the same junk that I'm eating. So I'm basically like not going anywhere. I'm spinning my wheels.
Yeah.
And so then I'm trying to remember. I think it was like I had a conversation with Tasha at one point.
Well, then COVID hits.
Well, right.
Like
then you get COVID.
So you're not going to the gym anymore.
Right.
You're not doing that.
Yeah. So that was I forgot about that, right? Because I basically, as soon as the COVID came around, I stopped going to the gym. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? How am I going to work out? Like, it's not like I couldn't work out at home, but it's a lot harder, obviously. Like that, the reason I took myself out of the home was so that I could actually focus, because otherwise I got my kids climbing on my back doing push-ups.
Yeah.
So, so I think I eventually, so I had met Tasha, I think actually before COVID at an in-person event, through the guy that I work with right now. His name is Brian. So I work with him, and she was like a network person with him. And so I met her. We had a conversation. I think that's kind of what prompted me. It was like, I need to do something different. I need to do something. I can't like not keep working out. So I reached out to her, and I started to just get more information. Like, what is this whole program you guys are telling me about? Yada, yada, yada. And I did the initial like cleanse, the 11-day reset or whatever that's called, not the shred.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't around at that time. It was last August.
Yep.
And so I did that, but I was skeptical for a little bit. I got into it eventually, and I finally did it. And I was like, you want to do it with me? She's like, no. She's like, I'm going to see if you can do this, because I don't like diets, right? That's all it was in her head. It was a diet. Yeah. So I tried it, and I did everything. I lost a lot of weight. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 pounds or maybe a little bit more.
I feel like it was 14.
Maybe 14, something a lot. I lost a lot of weight. And she's like, okay, well, all right. So maybe this is working, but I'm still not ready. Like, you got to keep it off now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the next phase.
I mean, is it sustainable, right? Like, I mean, is it like the yo-yo diets, right? Are you going to lose weight? I mean, lose weight and then like gain it right back? I mean, I got to see if this is the real thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I hadn't seen.
You were the stickler, huh? You were the one driving the hammer. See how that stuff sticks with you. You failed at a diet, and now you see how these things carry along with you, right? Like you probably had some of that from that past experience, and it's carried with you now. And this is what I try to get people to identify, especially with health coaching and stuff, is identify these triggers and identify these spots, so that way if they ever come up again, you can address them and kind of work with them and everything like that. So that's good. So you do the 11-day and you lose 14 pounds, right? And then what happened? Did you do what your wife thought you were going to do? Did you go backwards or what happened?
Like 3 pounds. I maybe gained 3 pounds back, but I stayed pretty constant, really. Like it didn't change like she thought it was going to. She thought I was going to go all the way back up. Didn't happen. I maintained my weight. In fact, finally, when I finally got her, I guess, how did we decide to do it after the new year? I'm trying to remember that.
How did we, Tasha? Like
okay.
that's
how. Yeah. So then I'm like I'm having a conversation. Tasha keeps checking in with me. She's like, "When's Rocio going to do it? When's Rocio going to do it?" And I'm like, I know, but you don't understand. This woman is like, she's got Bolivian blood in her. Like she's, iron, right?
You see that comment? You see the comment on the screen?
Yep.
Natasha says, "Yup, skeptical for 6+ months." Rocio is not having it in the beginning. Both were skeptical, just like I was 8 years ago. I think we all stepped into that. I was too. I was like, there's no way this is different than something I've been doing for 16 years. Like, no way. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's awesome. So then you try the regular way.
Yeah. Right? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it a try. And so actually, this is still, again, before the shred, though. Yeah. So I tried the other the 11-day reset. Yeah. And because I had so many gut issues and I didn't know anything, I basically said, okay, I don't know anything. I don't want to know anything. I'm just like, I'm going to do what you did and you're going to walk me through it. So I didn't do any of the homework. I didn't try to educate myself about anything. So I tried it. And then I just was feeling awful. I was feeling awful. Now, fast forward, now that I know all this info and this knowledge that I have now, what I was going through is I was detoxing and my body was cleansing. I was detoxing. So, but I thought, oh, these shakes are making me sick. This cleanse is making me sick. So I'm like, I'm not going to just, like, I'm feeling sick. I'm trying to feel better. So why am I feeling sick? So I'm like, I'm not going to just go through this process that's making me feel sick in hopes to feel better later. I mean, this is how, like, honestly, this is how I felt. I was just like, I'm going to make myself sick in order to maybe potentially feel better. So I gave up. Like, I think on this halfway through a little bit more. I feel like I pushed through, and
maybe like 2 more days. Yeah.
But I was not doing well.
That was it.
So then I gave up. And then Tasha was faithful to just, hey, I really, and she's genuine, right? So she genuinely wanted me to succeed. And so she just, got me in touch with Dr. Aina, and we talked about it. And she was giving me more information about it too. So I was like, oh, okay. Then maybe it's not the shakes. Maybe it's me. There's something going on inside that is good, but I just need to kind of suck it up, buttercup, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So that was like, when I heard you say that, I was like, I'm going to do it. And then around that time, the ER shred came out, and they told us about it. And so I tried, and it was so much easier. It was still not easy, but it was so much easier than what I had experienced before, partly because my mind was in the right place. Partly because I was like, okay, this pain I'm experiencing, this discomfort is part of the whole process because I've been eating like this for so long, and because of all these gut issues that I have, my body is trying to reset, and I gotta be patient with the process. So
I hope if anybody takes something, they really listen to what you just said. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is quitting too early.
Yeah.
We always quit too early, right? Have you guys ever seen that thing where the guy's digging in a mine and it shows like he's like this far away from like this big thing of diamonds, and then he turns around and walks back, and you got the other guy on top. It's like digging, right? It's like that difference of mindset. Like so many people work, and we, in this world today, we just expect results like this for some reason, not realizing that we spent years abusing ourselves, or, we compare ourselves, whether it's business or money or finances or whatever. It's the same thing, right? Like we do this to ourselves, and then we give up when right around the corner, just a little bit more could be that golden sweet spot, right? So you're right. Like you didn't have that education and you didn't have that knowledge, but because you came to it differently, you were able to say, okay, like I get it. And then boom, we're going to go, I'm going to push through. And I mean, your results now are crazy because you now, since January, you've lost what?
I have lost 19 pounds. Add 1 more pound. I lost 19 pounds since January. I've done 2 shreds, and I've been living the lifestyle, like the shred lifestyle.
And 19 pounds and how many inches?
We did not measure well. We did not measure much, but I lost 5 inches off my waist.
5 inches in your waist, just so you know, especially in a woman, your waist is the most difficult spot to absolutely weight, right? Everybody's like, Jesse, how can I target I'm like, there's no such thing. The body doesn't work like that. Like you can't just target a certain area. The body's going to lose where it's going to lose. Primarily it's in the face first, then you start to see it in the shoulders and the chest area. But that abdomen, especially the lower abs, oh my God, that is the hardest stuff to possibly lose. But now that it's that consistency, right? That kind of keeps going through. And Steve, for you guys, so you were using Isagenix in the traditional way. Then the ER shred comes out in October. Natasha and Rick tell you about the ER shred, right? Yep. And at first, what did you guys think about it? What did you think about the ER shred way versus what you were doing? Be honest with me. What did you think?
Well, so I'll share this. I was also feeling like Natasha felt too, of just like pulling teeth on my wife, like, and having to be patient. And when you're, and you can see, and I know you can relate to this, when you're in that space with your wife and you're like, you don't understand. I can't talk to her the way that you might. Like I can't sleep because she will like throw me outside and I will sleep outside if I say that exactly what you just told me to say to her, right? So I just, I had to so I just want to tell everybody out there that has a spouse that they're really feel like it's really hard and they're stonewalling against this person. Don't, just like you were saying, Jesse, the impatience, right? We want things to change now. Just show them, demonstrate, do, not just try, but do what you know you're going to do, and just be patient with them because you love them.
Yeah.
And they will come around. It may not be on your timeline, but it's not up to you anyways. It's their journey.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that doesn't like dictate or change anything that you're going to do. You want to make sure you're taking care of yourself ultimately, because then they will see that. They will see that, and they will come on board. Like I can't explain it any other way, but like you can't explain it either way.
I think that's great that you actually mentioned that. And I'll tell you very honestly and being very transparent, I've been doing this for a long, long time, and Crystal still just does her own thing. And I can't say anything to her because she runs ultra marathons with me and she's shredded. Well, now she's got a baby inside of her, so it's a little different. Now I really don't argue. I'm like, oh, you want one of those 600 calorie oatmeal raisin bran muffins? Okay, I'll serve it to you in bed. You know what I mean? And we're just going to take that road. And that's just what happens right now. But she's fought me too. She's like, my body needs carbs. You know this. And I'm like, okay, killer. Okay, calm down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you think you got the answer for everything. And here I got 20,000 people that are like, Jesse, and she's, and then I got Crystal. So I'm with you. I'm totally with you. I get it. And you're right. Like, you just keep doing the do, you know what I mean? And make it happen. I think she thought I was going to fall flat on my face during the last ultra marathon when I did this as fat adapted, because we were so hooked on carbs as our fuel source, and not crappy carbs, but I mean good quality ones to fuel us as ultra endurance athletes, that I swear she thought I was probably going to fall on my face. And I did the opposite. Like, thank God I was like this, because I don't think I would have made it, because I couldn't eat. You know what I mean? So I love that you brought that up. I think it's so important. But it's also hard too, right, Steve? Like, it's hard because you want to do it together. It's easier to do it together. And a lot of people use that as an excuse. And I want to challenge anybody to not use that as an excuse. If your husband or wife isn't on board, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, like, it's not your responsibility. You do you, and they do them. And if you lead by example and you show over and over, and you show that consistency, chances are they're going to want to feel as awesome as you want to feel, as you're feeling, right? So that's kind of how it happens. Now, for you, you've lost how much? What have you lost so far?
It's about 16. Yeah, 16 pounds. 2.25 inches off my waist, which is not bad either. Like you said, like, it's the hardest area to use. So I've lost other areas, but that was the most on that area.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, those 5 inches that you lost off your waist, Rocio, Lenny is like the visceral body fat calculator. It's a visceral body fat from the inside of the body. You see, that's one of the major things that's so different about this, is that we can lose visceral body fat while we're sustaining lean muscle. It's the complete opposite of what a diet does. When you diet, you're actually not losing visceral body fat. You're losing water weight and you're losing lean muscle mass. So when you come back, or you change, or you treat yourself a little bit, right? All of a sudden, the body responds in a way that you don't want it to respond.
Exactly.
Where when you're fat adapted, it's a completely different ball game to where you can play around. Like this past weekend, I had Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I had ice cream cake with my daughter. I had an ice cream cone. I had, a couple things, and I didn't feel the best, but man, I'm right back in it. You know what I mean? Like your body's just bouncing back like that now. And it's just such an awesome thing. So how much does your little guy weigh?
The oldest is about 45 pounds, I think. And the little one, our youngest, he's like a stick.
31 is what I feel like.
Okay.
Like
so collectively, you guys almost lost your oldest son.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Put that in perspective. I bet you didn't think of it like that, did you?
Okay.
So collectively, the amount of weight that you've lost is your oldest son. That's pretty freaking incredible when you actually look at it like that, right?
Yeah,
sure
absolutely.
is.
Now let's talk about what I really like to talk about. Let's talk about and wrap this up. Let's talk about the extra stuff, because I'm always preaching that the physical is not what we're going for. Even though I know that's in our brains, because we all want to look good, feel good naked, like all that kind of good stuff, right? Like we all want that. Like nobody can tell me differently. Like, right? Like we know that we want that. But what else happened? Rocio, what have you noticed besides the weight loss in the inches? How has getting healthier changed your daily life?
So that's, I think for me, that's the most amazing part of this whole ER shred journey, because yes, losing weight is awesome, but what's inside, like how I feel, the fact that I am no longer having these issues. Again, I mean, yeah, sometimes when I eat something and I'm like, oh, okay, my body doesn't like it, I experience some issues with bloating or whatnot. But the fact that I feel right, if you know what I mean, like, I don't know that now that I feel right, I know before I wasn't right. So inside, just my body feels just right. I don't know how else to describe it. Emotionally, because I feel healthier and I don't feel sick or whatever. I don't have migraines anymore. I'm just happier.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I joke about it, but I'm more patient. Of course, I'm with 2 kids. You can only be so patient.
Yeah.
But I am just generally happy. And I want everybody to experience what I'm experiencing. So I'm like telling everybody about it because it's true. It happens. I was a skeptic and now I'm a believer. And why wouldn't everybody want this for themselves? Right.
I mean, it's a great question that I ask myself all the time, but it's, as you know, it's the same reason why it took you so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who knows that, you never know somebody's story. You never know what they went through. You never know what's happening in life right now. That's a struggle. Right. And it's just, it's just like Natasha and Rick did with you guys. It's just showing up and being there genuinely, and just, you can only offer, we can only guide people, and the person has to take that step. You guys are where you're at today. Yes, because Natasha and Rick shared with you, but really you're where you're at today, not because of them, not because of the ER shred. I do not want you to give that power up to anybody or anything. You're here because you guys decided and you committed. And that's so important. Like, I love when people praise the ER shred, but I cringe when somebody's like, oh, the ER shred did it for me. The ER shred did not do this for you. The ER shred is just the tracks to run on. The ER shred eliminates the bullshit that's out there and allows us to get down to the knit and grit and actually fuel the body for performance. But it's your body that's responding. It's your body that's the amazing miracle. Right. You're just giving it the right fuel that it needs to do what you guys are seeing today. So realize that you guys are the ones that you should be giving the credit to, even though, you've had coaches and you've had people and you've had the community and all that kind of good stuff. But I mean, to not feel sick every day, do you find that you're sleeping better? Is your mental focus better? Do you find any of that stuff? Steve, you're shaking your head.
Yeah. So that was some of the things that I've noticed. And that's why the consistency is so important, like you were saying, because you're not going to feel some of these things necessarily. Like, not everybody's different. So some people are going to take longer. I didn't really feel a lot of the real like peak energy and the real mental clarity and like presence of mind until probably like a month in or so. Awesome. I mean, it might have been somewhere a little early in that where I started seeing bits and pieces, but like I really didn't like feel like that every day. Probably till a month in of just like, doing the regular lifestyle and really changing the way I was eating and being careful and mindful. And now like, I'm just like, when I'm with the boys, like the patience it's still not easy, like Rocio said, but it's easier. And I'm definitely more focused, and I don't, it doesn't take me as long as to answer them sometimes when they're like asking me questions or whatever. I can focus on 2 things at once now. So all those things really can happen because I think I'm just feeling better about myself too. Like, and that's what she was emphasizing. Is like, I believe that too. Like, your body feels better. You're just going to respond better. You're going to show up, like you said, every day that much better. Yeah.
And then, do you guys feel from a relationship standpoint, from husband, wife? I mean, have you connected better? Are you there more for each other? I mean, this changes quite a bit of stuff, right? Because it's crazy. We don't have time to dive into all of that, obviously. But do you feel like overall it's changed for you guys in the way that you're connecting? You know what I mean? Physically, mentally, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. I actually do, because I think it's even allowing us to communicate a little bit better about some of the things that we're frustrated by with one another, just because we're able to. I think there's just like a way that we're able to like talk, have patience more, and then be able to work out some of the things that maybe before we would have just been like, whatever, I'm done with, like, I can't talk like right now. Like, it just, we're too stressed out. We're too overwhelmed. Like, I feel like that's been a lot easier. I don't know about you, but that's been a lot easier for us. I think
that in itself right there. I mean, you can't even put a price tag on that.
No,
like you can't. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of science behind what you guys are saying with dealing with insulin and cortisol, and you know what I mean. Controlling that cortisol is not a good thing. Cortisol is stress and stress induced and stress related, and there's so much science on this. And do you realize that 90% of every family physician visit is stress related?
Wow, that makes sense.
It is powerful. It is powerful, and it ridiculously alters life in a negative way. And what you guys are sharing and experiencing right now is the difference of the other side. When you can, not that it goes away, not that stress goes away, that's impossible. But if you can combat the effects and you can balance that out, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So let's wrap up. We're at the top of the hour. I want to respect everybody's time, especially you guys. I know you probably got to do your thing, but let's talk really quick about the ER Shred community and what that's done for you guys. How has that helped you guys? What do you guys feel about it?
You can go.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's just been really wonderful to have the folks in there like yourself and Susan, Sean, Crystal, Adam Sisk, Heather,
Mimi.
I'm Mimi, like just all the different and everybody, honestly, like I know I'm naming a lot of people that tend to comment more, but like everybody in this community, anybody that shared anything has been super helpful. Like there's always people on here answering questions for you. Even when, maybe your support group that you're maybe as close by isn't available, like you can still reach out to the community and like get answers and questions to things and just kind of work through some things and just like, stay on track. Just having the support, right? The encouragement, like I see it all the time on the post here. So I just really am grateful that like everybody on here, and I think too, it attributes to the health side of it too, that we're all just happy to be like helping and supporting one another. And that's awesome. It's really cool. I agree. What about you, friends? What do you think?
Well, I think, the community is just awesome because I have, I spend a lot of time looking through and celebrating with people and having them celebrate, every victory that we have, small or large, is just a victory, right? In fact, like you guys were saying, we're present, everybody's present. And we don't really physically know anyone, but we feel connected to them. And I love the fact that it's real people with real struggles, with real life issues. But we're all coming together for the same purpose, just to find that health and balance. And it's just beautiful. Like, I love it. Yeah. Yeah.
Sean and I talk about it all the time, but this community is so much deeper than what people just kind of see on the surface. When you get to dive in and spend time and get to know people, and I'm with you. This is the realest community that I've ever been a part of. Getting to know, I wouldn't have met you guys, without this community. I wouldn't even have known your guys' story. I know I saw you posting, Steve, and I've seen some things, but when you shared your story last week, Rocio, I was like, wow, this is freaking awesome. We got to chat, but that's the cool thing. Like, we just keep getting to meet people. And when all this crazy crap of COVID is over and we can all come together, I promise you, Sean and I are planning some cool stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of steaks on the grill. That's for sure. And we're going to do it right. We're going to do it right, because this community is just such an amazing, for me, no joke. Like, I'm not even just like, it literally saved me. Like I had a hole missing. I had something missing. Like, my soul wasn't filled. Like, the work I was doing wasn't serving me. Even though it was the same thing, it just wasn't there, and I'm forever grateful for Sean for giving me a shot and trusting me and reaching out. But I know what you guys are talking about. And unless somebody actually experiences it, it's hard to describe, right? Absolutely. So let's end it with this. What would you guys say to somebody who's struggling right now, who maybe comes in and watches this, They're on the fence. They've tried a bunch of things. They're in the deep place of their life. They fail. They don't think anything can work. They see this crazy thing. And I say crazy because it's not the norm, because we've been freaking lied to for so many years, right? What would you guys say to that person?
I would say you have got to give yourself a chance. You know, you have got, this is really like you were saying, Jesse, it's just it's the battle is mostly you. The battle is in you. It's the mindset. It's you. So just, you are worth it. You really are worth it. It's not about the money. It's not about the way. It's just, you are worth it, and you really gotta give it a try. And more than just gotta give it a try. Like, you are worth the try and the chance. You gotta give yourself the chance. That's all. Yeah.
What about you, Steve? What do you say?
Yeah, I think just health is your wealth. Like it. Yeah, like, you know, we invest on other things. Why not take, like, you should invest in yourself. Like, you're definitely worth it. Like, so this is definitely, you can only take steps up doing this, trying this. Like, you're not going to fall back down.
For sure.
And you're definitely going to be lifted up by others, even if you feel like you're falling down.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Listen, guys, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing. I know we can dive into so much, but an hour goes by so fast when you're talking. It's like, holy crap, it's already 9:07. You know what I mean? And I have so many more questions that I want to ask you about all these different things, but we will bring you guys back on, because I want to do some repeat, calls of people that have stuck with it. And I know you guys aren't going anywhere. You're just going up. You're sharing. You're passing it on to other people. You're passing that gift now, and that's such a beautiful thing. You're serving from the heart, and you're just giving other people a chance, like somebody gave you a chance. Like Rick and Natasha were there for you. You guys are now passing that forward, and that is just such a beautiful thing. We need more of that in this world, instead of the hate and God, there's too much hate right now. It just makes me sad, but thank you guys for sharing. Go back and read the comments, because there's a lot of them that are coming through. And seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And you guys are such a great, amazing piece of this community. And we're very, very lucky to have you guys. So I just want to thank you for everybody.
Same to you, Jesse.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, guys. Listen, thanks for showing up. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m., we're here with another amazing story. Please join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have our Shred Your Testimonial call. These two can testify to that. Like, we have some of the most jaw-dropping, amazing testimonials. They will make you cry. They will give you goosebumps. We have fun. Fun is the key word for this year. Like, we want more fun in our lives. Like, if we're not having fun, we're not doing it. And then on Thursday, we have my other brother from another mother, my other ambassador for the program, Mr. Bob Sipright, who does our opportunity, side of things, because we got something for everybody in the ER Shred. Just come and our arms are open waiting for you. Check out more information at ershred.com. Join our free community at ershredders.com. It's flashing across the bottom of your screen here. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you all have an amazing night.
Thanks. Bye, guys.